viewers, Rectangular back, this time with another review. Here we have the Marvel A-Force Heroines box set. Now this is just the shipping box, so it's going to be pretty different from what you're going to see in the store, but I think if you order it from ToysRus.com, then you might actually get to see this shipping box. Here's the back of the shipping box, which pretty much identical to the front, just has all the legalese there at the bottom and the Hasbro.com/Marvel insignia. And you can see this has already been opened. The sides are sealed up with stickers of Baby Groot there from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie. Here we have the set out of the white shipping box, and as you can see it is quite attractive. Really nice artwork from the comics portrayed on the front here. At the bottom you've got a label that says exclusive, written 3 times. You may or may not be able to make that out. Also there is an R embossed on there. It is part of the ToysRus logo, so this is indeed a ToysRus exclusive, even though the white shipping box does not say ToysRus anywhere on the outside. My guess is that they weren't sure whether or not it was going to be ToysRus exclusive or exclusive to another store or a website like Amazon or Entertainment Earth, so they waited until the last minute to put stickers on the package. So yeah, that explains that. Here we have the top of the box just with the Marvel and A-Force logo. It says Heroines in 3 different languages. Here we have a shot of the side of the box with just the heads of each of the characters, starting Singularity, Elsa Bloodstone, She-Hulk, Sif, Monica Rambeau, and the female version of Loki. And for anyone interested, here is the bottom of the box. Here we have the front of the box open, and you can see there's a really nice window package that allows you to look at all of the figures. There's supposed to be 6 figures in this set, and you're scratching your head. Why are there only 3 here? Well, my friend Josh Ratcliffe purchased this set on eBay. As of today, it has been the only set like this, the only A-Force set to go up on eBay or be available anywhere. And he only wanted Loki, so I hit him up when I saw that he was the one who had purchased the set, and I told him I was interested in getting these 3 figures. So I was able to purchase these 3 from him, and then he sold the other 2, Elsa Bloodstone and Singularity, to other people on Facebook. So here we go with these, and I will be doing reviews on all 3 of these figures. So yeah, let's get started. Here we have the back of the box with all the figures posed in very dramatic stances, and yeah, so there's 6 figures in this set, of course, which I only have the 3, but yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy this early look at these figures. Right now we are taking a look at Sif, and on the inside leaf of the box we have her photo, her name, and a brief description that says, as a gifted warrior goddess of Asgard, Sif traverses time and space through teleportation, and then the same statement is repeated 3 more times in different languages. Here we have Sif out of the package, and wow, I've been waiting years for a Sif figure, and Hasbro came through. I knew that once I saw Angela, once I saw the final version of Angela, that they were going to use that body mold for this character, and I'm totally fine with it. I don't mind when Hasbro does reuse, kit bash, whatever you want to call it, as long as they do it right and make some small changes. So this is very much the Angela figure with some small changes. The forearms are the same as Angela. The lower, the legs essentially are Angela. I believe the mid-torso is also Angela, but the upper torso is a different torso, and then the upper arms are not the same. They have the same armor pieces there at the elbows, but the upper arms don't have the same. They don't have the straps molded on like Angela has. Also, the face might be Angela. I have to look at a little bit closer. The crest is or her tiara, whatever you want to call it, that is obviously different from the one that Angela has, but the face itself, where it's molded for that tiara to fit around, looks pretty similar to Angela. Angela does not have eyebrows painted on, where this does. It's kind of hard to tell, without dissecting both figures and looking at them a little bit closer, but they have pretty similar looking faces. Obviously the paint job is much different, but yeah, I'm really happy the way she turned out. I love the red for her boots, that molded plastic where it's got it looks like the paint is swirled into it, where it's got kind of a shimmer to it. I love that. It turned out really nice. The pearlized or pearlescent plastic for her gauntlets also turned out really well. The pearlescent paint on her tiara looks great. The only issue, and I don't know if it's because somebody else handled this figure before me, but the handle on her sword has got some paint missing from it, and we'll get into that when we go over the accessories. But yeah, and pretty much that's the only accessory she comes with, other than her cape is removable, and this skirt piece is, I don't think it's removable, but you could cut it off, I'm sure. So let's just look from the side of the figure here. May not be showing up on camera that well. I'm trying to hide some of the light, but there is a blue wash over the fur of her cape, and in person it looks great. It really brings out all the sculpted detail, the nooks and crannies. Something that my friend Chris Serda does with his customs that looks really cool in person, and they did a really good job on her hair. I love that we're getting new hair sculpts for her. Let's see if I can look at it a little bit closer. There might be some lighter gray or blue, like a really dark blue that might be washed into it. I think it is showing up on camera, or yeah, under these lights, but yeah, it turned out really nice. I really like the hair on her. And here's the other side. The cape is a nice, soft, flexible material. Doesn't appear that there is any, doesn't look like there's any paint washed in. It's kind of hard to tell. I think it just picks up light really well. And here we have the left side of the figure, and you can see the head does sit a little bit high on the neck. That gives her kind of a goose neck, which a lot of the Marvel Legends females tend to have. But yeah, I really like the way that the face is painted. Let me get in, zoomed in with my camera, and get a better look at that. Now I'm probably geeking out a little bit, but I think this figure turned out really beautiful. I love the design on her chest. I think that was painted flawlessly. Also on her lower torso there, that I think turned out really well. The lines are really nice and clean. Her face is really well painted. Yeah, it doesn't look like her lipstick is wonky there. Really pretty blue eyes. Reminds me a little bit of the actress Jamie Alexander, who plays Thor in the movie, or I'm sorry, Sif in the Thor movies. Yeah, she's really pretty, and yeah, I'm just really happy. The only part that looks a little bit sloppy, like I said, the paint is kind of missing from the handle of her sword, but the buckles on her skirt piece, the silver is a little bit sloppy there on the rings, but nothing that I can't touch up. Show that a little bit closer. Man, this thing is so cool. The material is a nice soft material, so it doesn't, it flexes really easily. Even more so, I think, than the plastic on Enchantress, is because it's got these individual pieces. So glad that Hasbro did not go the cheap route and just slap on the same skirt piece from Enchantress. This turned out really nice, and there it is from the back. It's got those little rivets painted silver, so really happy with that. Let's take a quick look at the sword, and the sword is pretty simple, but it's a nice hard plastic, so it retains its shape really well, going in and out of the her little scabbard. But you can see the paint is missing there. Hoping that I can match that brown and touch it up, kind of a reddish brown. As you can see, it's just a silver molded plastic, but it's got that brown on the handle. So hopefully I can match that paint and then seal it up. Pretty simple, but I'm totally fine with that. Let's get her sword out of the way for a minute. Bring her back in. So see that insignia painted really well on her chest and on her torso. Yeah, that all turned out really nice on her. Just a tiny bit of white missing there in the side, but otherwise really happy with her. Like I said, the cape is removable. It just hangs over her shoulders, so you just have to kind of lift up her hair and pull that back. So if you wanted to, you could put this on another figure like Enchantress or Valkyrie or somebody. That turned out really nice. I really like the sculpted detail on that. And yeah, so here's Sif without the cape, and but the only thing it might benefit from is maybe a wash on the wings of her tiara to bring those out a little bit more. You can see the sculpted detail maybe a little bit more if they had maybe put a blue wash on there, but otherwise I'm not going to nitpick that much. The neck is on a disc, bald disc, so she can look up a little bit, but her hair is going to get in the way. Let's see if we can rock that disc back, and yeah, let me zoom back a little bit. So that's about as much as you can get her to look up. Not terrible. And then she can look all the way down, which is nice. Side to sides, no problem. Hair is a stiffer plastic. It's got a little bit of give to it, but not much. At least the way that it's molded, that you can get it over her shoulders with no issue. So very happy with that. If you're not going to make the hair soft, at least make it so that we can not be hindered articulation wise. So I'm totally cool with that. I think it's about the same feels about the same as Enchantress's hair as far as how flexible it is. It's got a little bit of give to it, but not much, not nearly as much as She-Hulk. So yeah, just be advised about that. Let's see. I think that they went with a red. Yeah, looks like that they went with a red plastic for the arms, and then they just painted the white there at the bottom for her elbows, and then it's got the armor pieces that that slide on, so you can adjust these up and down if you like, just like on Angela if you don't have that figure. Her arms are a little bit loose, so hopefully I can fix that up, or hopefully when I get this set at retail, the one I find in the store won't be so loose. But the upper torso flexes a little bit, not a whole lot, so she can crunch forward and pretty good amount back, so it's not too terrible. It's actually pretty damn good. Reminds me maybe of the range of motion that you get on Silk, so I'm totally happy with that. And now that I think about it, I think this is actually a different torso. I think Angela is bigger. This looks a bit smaller to me, so I could be wrong, but would kind of have to pull this to the side and get them a little bit closer together to compare. But yeah, it does have that that molded for her panties, if you will, the waistline that Angela does. So I'm still not convinced that these aren't the same. So yeah, like I said, these are flexible, and it kind of rides high. You kind of have to push it down to expose that insignia on her torso. And it just kind of wants to stay up. I don't want to glue it unless these become cheap, unless they go on clearance. I wouldn't mind having one that I could glue down so I can keep it in position, but it does slide around quite a bit. So yeah, standard female Marvel Legends articulation. She's got the socket there, pin and socket for the elbow, and you know, she gets pretty good range of motion, more than 90 at the shoulder, the hinge and swivel at the wrist, and I think the hands are the same as Angela. Then we got the upper thigh swivel and double jointed knees, and the pin rocker at the foot. So very cool. Let's put her accessories back on and do some size comparisons with her. Here we have Sif next to a couple of other Asgardian females. On the left is the old 2-pack Valkyrie, which is pretty terrible by today's standards. Still hoping we'll get a classic version of Valkyrie, but I figured I'd throw her in there just for you know, complete thoroughness. And then we have Angela on the right here. I move her just slightly so their swords are not clashing together. But as you can see, you know, most of Sif is going to come from the Angela. You know, you've got the legs and the arms and possibly the lower torso. But I think they look really nice side by side. Pretty much the same height. Angela might be just a little bit taller. Her hair, I think, stands just a little bit taller. But yeah, I think these are great scale. Let's get this old Valkyrie out of the way and throw in the more modern Valkyrie that we just got recently. if I can get her to stand. But yeah, that's much better. Valkyrie is taller than either one of them, which I'm totally fine with. Yeah, that looks good. Here's the figure next to a couple of villains from Asgard. We've got Hela on the left and Loki on the right. That, of course, is the exclusive Hela from the box set, San Diego Comic-Con box set. And then we have the Loki that was a Walmart exclusive Loki. Probably the best comic version of Loki that we've got from Hasbro. So very, very cool. I think she's scaled pretty well with those two. Here we have the figure next to the Marvel Legends Enchantress on the left, and just for fun I threw in the Marvel Select Destroyer so you can see how massive that figure is next to her. And yeah, I think the size works well. Enchantress is pretty tall because she's got high heels on. Otherwise, she'd probably be about 4 inches or so taller than Enchantress. Finally, we have Sif next to King Thor on the left and the Marvel Select Thor on the right. Now, the Marvel Select Thor is the same size as the Marvel Legends Thor. That would have been from, gosh, that's the Return of Marvel Legends Thor. So he's maybe just a tiny bit taller, but also my Odin Build-A-Figure is buried in a bin. So I've got King Thor here, pretty much the same size. The Odin is a little bit taller because of the helmet, but not much. So yeah, I think she goes great with these two. Hopefully you remember to hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I always love hearing back from you guys, so please leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.
That's crispy.